Many people want to be wealthy, but only a few succeed. There are many reasons for this, including fear and a lack of focus. In reality, there are some aspects in your life that you're completely oblivious of that are holding you back financially, which is why in this video, I'll share you the 5 F words that prevent you from getting rich, and if you're aware of them, you can avoid them. Welcome to Thrive Tastic. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? And as always guys, give this video a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. Number 1. Fear. Do you dislike being alone in a dark place because you're afraid that something horrible may happen to you? If you responded yes, this sensation is triggered by dread or fear. Fear is an unpleasant feeling caused by the anticipation or awareness of danger. You must have experienced fear at some point in your life. Fear is not a bad thing in and of itself because it prepares you for unforeseen danger. However, extreme and excessive fear may prevent you from becoming rich. It is a major obstruction to success since it affects the mind and makes it harder to be productive. Fear can likewise show up in various forms and makes it significant for you to understand how it works and how to conquer it, if you have any desire to become effective and successful. One of the most well-known fears that numerous individuals have is the fear of failure. People are so terrified to fail that in the end, failure will be drawn upon themselves. No matter how great your preparation is, you cannot have complete certainty in any of the outcome. In short, there are certain things that you cannot control. You can conduct a thorough market survey and introduce a product that you believe people want to buy, but there is a possibility that nobody will buy it. This is why many people are reluctant to start new ventures because they do not know what the results will be. You must forget about the things that you cannot control and concentrate on the things that you can. That is how you counter fear. Another fear that will keep you from getting rich is the fear of starting. The fear of starting and the fear of failing are strongly intertwined. People are afraid to begin because they do not want to fail. There are many people who have great ideas and dreams but could never be realized because they keep asking themselves questions such as, what if people don't like my idea? There is no way to know whether or not someone will like your idea if you haven't started working on it. People who have become wealthy are those who are willing to begin, and there is no business today in which the owner has absolute confidence that it would be a success before they began. This leads us to the next fear. Fear of taking risks. When you want to start something new, there is a chance that you will incur some loss. For example, if you spend money developing a new product and no one buys it, you will be at a loss. However, if people like your product, you will most likely to make a profit. If you only consider the potential losses, you will be unable to begin anything because you are afraid to take a risk. Another fear that may keep you from getting rich is the fear of rejection. Some people are anxious that they are not good enough. An employee who has this fear will not be confident to ask for a salary increase even if they deserve it. Self-employed people who are afraid of rejection will also be unable to charge what they are worth. Before we proceed to the next F word, I would like to ask you guys, what is the fear that you can mostly relate into? Fear of failure? Fear of starting? Fear of taking risks? Or fear of rejection? And what are you guys doing to overcome such fear? Please let us know your answers in the comment section below. Number 2. Friends and family. Believe it or not, your family and friends are another element that will keep you from getting rich. Friends and family are wonderful people, but they may also have an impact on your life and the decisions you make. As a result, your friends and family may be responsible for your shortage. Your mental state might be influenced by the type of friends you hang out with. If you hang around with poor people, you're likely to be poor as well. This is because they will tell you what they think and encourage you to do what they do. And if you do what poor people do, you'll receive the same outcome as them. You'll be and remain poor. But if you have rich and successful friends, they will greatly affect your outlook in life, and you will soon become successful. They will share their knowledge with you and this will cause you to recreate their actions, and then chances are you will become successful and get the same results that they have. The same is true. If you spend time with pessimistic people, you will soon become pessimistic too. If you hang out with lazy people, you will soon become lazy. If you invest most of your time with poor people, you will soon become poor. Thus, if you do not want to contribute being poor, you must learn to change the kind of friends you keep. Always search for individuals who are doing better than you to make friends with. They will inspire and drive you to become better than you are right now. Another category of people that might keep you from getting rich is family. Unlike your friends, you have no control over who your family members will be. Most people born into a wealthy family end up wealthy, while most people born into a poor family may end up poor. Your family is your immediate environment, and you learn the majority of the things that influence your mindset from them. Growing up, you may have observed your parents' handling of money and financial decisions. Even if you didn't actually pay attention, their behavior must have been greatly embedded in your mind. You may discover that as you grew, you probably began making the same decisions as they did. If you were born into a family where your parents were afraid to take risks, you're likely to be afraid to take risks as well. For instance, if your father led a simple life and worked for a single firm his whole career, he would likely want you to do the same. If you want to leave your job and do business, he may oppose you because he feels that a job is stable but a business is high risk. Number 3, fun. There's an old saying that says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. This means that regardless of how hard you work, you should have time to play and have fun. However, as enjoyable as having fun is, it can keep you from becoming rich because having more fun time and less time for other activities decreases your productivity. I'm not against having fun, but you must lessen it if you want to become affluent. Furthermore, we all love having fun and may not always be aware how much time we spend doing so. For example, watching TV is fun, and it can be easy to let vast amounts of time pass when you're into a great show or movie. Another source of entertainment that people fall victim to is social media. You may want to only spend a few minutes on social media, but you end up scrolling for hours on what others have posted. You must learn to discipline yourself since social media may distract you and keep you busy with wrong things. Having fun is fantastic, but it must be done in moderation. Before we proceed to the 4th F, I would like to ask you guys, what kind of fun or habits that you have that prevents you from being productive? Are you also the same, spending time with it? Oblivious to the fact that you have already wasted half your day or your whole day on it? Please let us know your answers in the comment section below, and let's be conscious together of these habits and doing fun things so that we may learn discipline and self-awareness. Number 4, failure. In this video, I mentioned that one of the reasons why people remain poor is a fear of failure. Failure is one of the things that will keep you from getting wealthy. Failure is a part of life, and it is vital for your success. When you learn to conquer it, it becomes simpler for you to be successful. From childhood, you may have been taught that failure is not a good thing. Your parents may have voiced concerns if you ever came home with a poor grade, which may have built a resentment for failure in you, such that as you grew, you despised it when you failed. Failure, on the other hand, helps you realize what are the things that you have done wrong and make the necessary actions to make them right. Unfortunately, the fear of failure might prevent you from embarking on potentially beneficial endeavors because you do not want to jeopardize your self-esteem by failing to be genuinely successful. You must persevere and do not quit when faced with failure. Most of the successful people you see today must have failed at some point in time, and what made them successful must have been their tenacity and their strong will to never quit. Abraham Lincoln is a perfect example of someone who refused to give up even in the face of failure. He learned to accept rejection and, in the end, became one of the most renowned US presidents in history. Michael Jordan is another great individual who attributed his success to failure. You can't talk about outstanding basketball players without mentioning Michael Jordan's name. One would believe that he was a flawless player who plays basketball perfectly. but he missed thousands of shots in his career. He lost several games and missed game-winning shots that would have given his team the victory. But he became successful because he refused to let failure restrict him. In his own words, he said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Number 5. Focus. Lastly, another reason many people remain poor is a lack of focus. They lack the capacity to concentrate on one thing until it becomes successful. If you want to become wealthy, you cannot ignore the importance of focus since it is required to achieve maximum outcome. You can have several things going on at the same time, but you must focus on one thing at a time until it is successful before moving on to the next. People who lack focus constantly want to accomplish everything at once. For example, someone who lacks concentration may start 3 businesses at the same time. They may wish to create a blog while also doing dropshipping or selling things online, then wonder why none of them became successful. Affluent individuals understand that they must master one before moving on to the next. A successful person may begin with a blog and then learn to develop contents that interest readers while also establishing an email list. They may design a product that they can add to their site before commencing their dropshipping business. When the energy that is intended to be utilized for one thing is diverted into so many other things, it leads to confusion and lost productivity. At the end, you may not produce a meaningful outcome. When you hear the name Bill Gates, you immediately think of Microsoft. When you hear the name Mark Zuckerberg, you instantly think of Facebook. When you hear the name Jeff Bezos, you think of Amazon. One thing these guys have in common is that they all have focused and concentrated on one thing until it got successful before going on to others. That's it for today's video, the 5 F words that prevent you from getting rich, and how to be good with your money. Thank you for watching this Thrive-tastic video. So if you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this awesome Thrive-tastic video for you to watch next. 98% of people don't know these investing secrets and how to invest for beginners.